So why is the distance between your fingers important? Think about your fingers as antennas, and each of them represents a part of your consciousness, how you express yourself, how you take in information, how you give out information, how you navigate. Some people have a closed fist, right? Keeping all their fingers very tightly together and bundled up. Other people, they express themselves with hand movements, and their fingers are really throwing all that energy out there, and what it's so this means if your fingers are tightly closed together, you're somebody who's a little bit more timid. You need a lot of support and security. You might be a little skeptical and need a lot of facts in order to navigate. You might trust the experts without really trusting yourself and your intuition, whereas you're always leaning out there to find what it is you're trying to seek and find. Trusting your own intuition, opening up these antennas out towards the universe, is you expanding your consciousness, right? We've talked about the fingers and what they represent in the past. I'll repeat it here again. It's that first finger, the index finger, ruled by Jupiter, is knowledge and spirituality and graciousness, right? Just and everything that is fear. Fear as in balanced, fair and just. Saturn is more about how we maintain our capacities as far as work and involvement and taking on responsibility, keeping our nose to the grindstone, being very traditional, right? But also with roots of security, where the ring finger, ruled by the sun, is self-expression, creativity, and so forth. Who and where and what you believe on or believe in when it comes to yourself. And the little finger, ruled by Mercury, is communication. Communication is verbal, nonverbal, it's information. And of course, that is one of the main antennas that we have. If we are curious in life, you will see that you'll have quite a distance from your ring finger to Mercury. Just kind of hold your hand out in front of you. Where do you see your little finger rests when you rest your fingers? Is it apart from your ring finger, or does it stick close to your ring finger? If it's close to your ring finger, then you're leaning on something else for security. If you have an open wide space here, you are totally open, very, shall I say, curious about life, curious about knowledge, seeking knowledge where you can find it, right? And then the space between your index finger and your thumb. Now, if your thumb is close to your index finger, the thumb rules money and love. So if that thumb is really tightly held into the rest of your fingers and in your palm, you don't give very easily. It's like somebody really, really needs to earn your trust for you to open up and to be generous. The more open space you have in your thumb, that angle between A to D, as you see here on the picture, the more generous you are, the more open you are, the more trusting you are that what you give out will come back to you. Some people will save their money, and little does come in because they're not allowing it in, right? So you want to relax your thumbs. That's you telling the universe that you trust that you are like this open funnel to receive more money, to receive more security, to receive more love. Don't forget, Venus rules love first and foremost, but yes, the other vibration of Venus is money and security. So both of them. So we want to have a relaxed, without it being too open. If you hold your hands up against in front of you and relax your fingers, how far down does your thumb fall? If it's beyond 45 degrees, that's very open. You want to make sure that it's not too open so money will run straight through you, like having a hole in your pocket, or that other people will be leaning on you when you're just giving. You also need to receive. So a healthy degree, I would say anything from a 30 towards a 40 degree is really, really good. 45 is being a little too open-handed with your money. It might be difficult to hang on to it, and you don't want to be taken by the takers because of your generosity, right? So we have to have a fine balance of giving and receiving and so forth. Now we can also look at the outer side of the palm. And I've kind of drawn it out wide on the one side, or if it's slender. Now, this is the area of the moon, your emotions, as far as how you feel and react, right? Not necessarily what you give out, but how you feel, receive, react. Now, if this is wide, well, then you are somebody who absorbs a lot, takes in a lot of emotions, and you are an empath. So you feel a lot. If it's really narrow down here, well, you're not letting too much in either. You're kind of keeping everything very close to heart. You don't give out a lot. You could be a little bit more of a skeptical type person, but nice and wide, well, then you are open. So the distance between the fingers, the length of the fingers as well, and whether Jupiter is longer than your ring finger or vice versa, all this matters too, to figure out where you lay within that landscape, right? It's like if that little finger is shorter than the upper flang of your ring finger, then it's the intellectual capacity which is lower than if your little finger rises above that last flang and higher, then your intellectual capacity is somebody who's really open. You want knowledge, you seek knowledge, you give knowledge, right? And if your sun finger is equal to that of Jupiter, then you're very well balanced in your self-expression and what you believe in, right? If your Jupiter finger is taller than your ring finger, well, then you're more, should I say, focused on your own opinions of what you want to bring out there rather than bringing yourself out there, but you would fight for your opinions. Now, if the sun finger rises up to the same length of Jupiter, then you stand for what you believe in, and you will express that because then that becomes very important to you. Now, of course, Saturn is always the longest finger upon our hands, unless we have all the same length, which we don't see very often, right? And that is because that's what helps us stick to the paths that we need to stick to. So that's pretty much a little quick insight as to looking at the spacing of the fingers, what it means, and if you can have a little opening between all of your fingers when you are relaxed and whatnot, the more open you will feel. And when we're open, we're showing the universe that we trust. And when we trust, we let go of angst and anxiety and all the what ifs in the world, that keeps us a little muscle tight, right? Because the closer we close those fingers and close our fists, the tighter our body becomes, and then we have a lot of muscular stress, right? We feel very uptight. And of course, physically, that won't give us good health. We want to be open and loose, but not too loose. Fine balance in everything, isn't there? Well, listen, this was it for today, and I will see you again here relatively soon with a new video. For those of you who do want to go and check out the longer versions, because these are just little tidbits, you can go to the description down below and you will find a very good deal there for you for a course. All right, and that is a third of the price of what it is online, so you can get that directly from this link down below. And then I also have a book that you can download right here, right now, 166 pages with information, lots of illustrations that you can easily just open up and check all the different signs that you have that can give you certain insights. And it's always nice to have something that you can just open up and reference to instead of having to go online and find. So I would definitely encourage you to do that for a very small fee. It's just a little donation fee because I am interested that you can get this knowledge and learn. So that is more or less my gift to you. It is a part of that online course, but you can get this little book downloaded to your computer immediately if you are interested. All right, see you next time.